Dirt Perfect's already got the TL240 chain down, ready for me. He's got the compactor chain down, ready for me. We're buying the C8500. We're going to work on a pond overflow that's failing. Not one that Mike built, just one that's been around for a while. I'll show you more details whenever we get there. Right, left, right, left, right. The truck is going to sound a little more peppy today. There's a little exhaust spring that holds the exhaust up to where it meets the bed that broke off. I'll show you when we get there. But we're just flowing right now, which is fine. It should give us about 5 more horsepower today. Slow, you got it. Just gonna double check my chains real quick before we shoot up this here mountainside. Everything's looking like it's riding pretty good. We're not ideally loaded. By that I mean I've got quite a bit of weight past the rear axle and the heavier machine on the back, which means it takes a little weight off my drives, which gives me a little concern going up. Mike already went up with the 120 on the back of this. He said it was okay, but I did tell me to be careful with it. So we're gonna go ahead and lock these in. I'll show you, but it locks front to back. It does not lock left to right. So the right side's still independent from the left side, but we will be locked front to back. Both these will spin equally. And he thinks, and I agree, we're gonna try low and slow. This button right here. We're gonna try low and slow and see if we can't crawl up this. Crossing the Grand Canyon here. I don't know what this is all about. He said stay to the right, but I've yet to see that option. I'm sure it will present itself. Here's the option. Okay. All right. We're going to the right, and now the next clue. It's like a game of clues whenever you're driving directions from Mike. The next clue is we should see some pipes somewhere. So pipes, we're looking for pipes now. I don't know. Well, let's keep going this way. Welcome, well thank you. Happy to be here. I feel like I've gone too far. Oh, I see some pipes up here. Here we go, we got her now. All right. Well, let's park in a way where we're not completely blocking somebody in. You know, just enough to make it frustrating for them, and we'll just take a gander. Well, there's the pipe there. And there's the pond down there. And I see some deer tracks here. I'm assuming this is the way down. Let's get unloaded. Pull forward just a little bit here. Oh, we can get the ramps out. I'll see if we can get this roller off here. Roller and steel ramps typically go really well. Luckily, we're plenty wide. We should be fine. I mean, they got it on here. It's got to come off. See if we can't go ahead and drag some of these pipes down with us, save some trips. All right, I'll show you the symptoms here in just a second, but I want to go ahead and pull just a little bit of dirt. I want to see what we're running with here and what we're going to get into. There's a whole bunch of seepage and stuff down this hill. He's got a small Kubota Mini X that he has done some repairs on over the years with this. But he thinks the repair needs to be deeper than what his Kubota can reach. Essentially is what we're looking at. Well, I'm going to scrape some of the top off here and we'll get down and see if we can't play detective a bit. So we're going to have to do some creative voiceover work today for the main reason that this turns into be a little bit more than what we expected, and we find the soil to be a little bit more unstable than we expected, so I didn't spend a whole lot of time outside of the machines getting videos. But where I'm digging now, there's the old overflow, and that overflow had failed and collapsed at some point in time. The homeowner had a mini excavator. He dug down and tried to repair it, but he didn't quite get the repair. There's still some seepage on the backside of the dam, and you could actually hear the water flowing underneath the dam when I was there before we started. So the goal is to dig down and try to find that leak and then go from there, see if we can fix it. This used to be where I'm digging here. This used to be the old overflow. It was a couple, he said a couple smaller tiles ran side by side. Over the years they kind of, yeah, there's some water seeping out there. Alright, you're going to see a color change in the dirt here. It's a little grayer. It's got some organic matter in it. Exactly what I'm looking for. I know things are hectic in the beginning of this video, but I promise you, I'll get out and show you what's going on and the problem I found. It's the problem you pretty much find on every pond. But Mike showed up, he's gonna run up, he brought some fuel. He's going to run up and top that skid steer off of fuel. That borrow pit's going to go right through there. So while he's getting fuel, which way is he going? What? I don't know. He probably found a spoon or fork or something. Anyway, let's go right through there. So while he's getting that fuel, we're going to clear these little trees out of the way. I'm trying to get my borrow pit all set up and ready so that we are 100% ready to go once we open up this core, because it looks like it's going to be a little unstable, and I 100% want to be rocking and rolling. I don't want to be messing around with making a borrow pit while I'm giving that core a chance to fall in on itself, if that makes sense. I hate taking out these little trees. They're actually pretty nice little oak trees, a couple different species, but decisions have to be made. All right, now we're getting the compactor. Dirt Perfect stopped by just to double check the plan, and we were on the same page. It only took 15 years and we finally agreed on something. This is an awesome all-terrain vehicle. It's very smooth. Just the smoothest ride. Gonna park it right here for now. And then we're going to start right about here where the bucket is, and we're going to core it. It's about the back side where the track hoe's sitting right now. And we're going to do that the width of the compactor. So I wanted to go ahead and get everything set up on that side, so we're pretty much ready to go. Since the pond is full, we're going to hold the core this way just a little bit. That way we don't risk any kind of major intrusion with that water. The goal is to get below the original grade that came off this hill right here. We're going to take any of the dirt we don't want and throw and use it on the back slope to kind of taper this back slope out a little bit for them. We might have to bring, Mike said we might bring the D4 in at some point in the future to run that back slope. We'll just have to kind of see. Honestly, this dirt's not terrible, but I really don't want to use it. I don't need to. You can see where I'm throwing this dirt on the back side of the dam. I'm throwing it there so that I can level myself up and kind of hang off the back side of the dam a little bit. That'll just help me keep that core trench away from the water side. Still in the dam enough to do its job, but a little bit of a safety barrier between the pond itself. Oh, I can kind of track over this way just a little bit more. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for that line, and we're going to get below it. We may take this core a little bit further back than what I originally thought it would go, just to make sure we go far enough with it. Makes me a little bit worried about our borrow pit. May have to find some more material, but we'll make it work. I'll have to peel this side back just a little bit. We're getting kind of deep on me. right, so here's where I'm at on this. I don't think a keyway was ever cut into this. We're running topsoil grade. You can see it down there. You can see that topsoil line. We're all the way across so far, and we're about halfway across the dam. We didn't expect to get it this invasive on this dam. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start packing some stuff in here, and we're going to start getting this put back so it stabilizes a little bit, so we don't end up losing the dam.
So I keep talking about that soil line or that change in soil color, and when I sit on the other side where the skid steer is now, the excavator, you can see it really clear. I'll pause the video and I'll point it out better for you. But it's a very unstable layer, and what I think happened is the leak that developed from his failing tile got down to what was the existing topsoil line, which was never removed whenever they first built that pond. And that whole layer was very wet, very unstable, and it kept leading to cave-ins. So I'm filling this part in just a little bit, and we're going to slide the whole core over about 6 feet and start over. Try to find something solid to hold on to.
The old root lines and stuff like that, and it runs all the way down, and it really seems like they never put a keyway in whenever they built this pond for this guy. So it's probably seeping through in several places. Because of how unstable that is, and we still got quite a bit of water up there, it's pushing a little bit. Not to mention I stacked a little dirt there and she caved in. Honestly, the whole dam needs cord, I think. But I'm gonna send Mike some pictures of what we found. But I'm gonna go ahead and keep building this up and getting it to a point where it's stable. Some of that bad clay did mix in on this side, but I think we can still salvage everything we had dug out and get a good core in.
So I think you can start to see it just a little bit more clear here as I start digging out where we're going to slide this core over to. You can see that darker layer. That is that existing topsoil line. That's the grade of the topsoil from where that roller is sitting in the background. That's the grade of where that hill came down into. And that was never removed whenever they put this dam in. That's what we've got to get down below to try to get this fixed to work.
Just trying to take some weight off this side too. Also, I just don't want a bunch towered up above me whenever I'm running that packer down there. So I'm going to dig this way, one more scoop, and then we're going to head to the, well, maybe one more, because look, it wants to slide again already. Just how unstable that layer is. It's crazy. It's crazy, I tell you. It's just insane. It's insanity. Look at that. It does not want to participate in today's activities. It's just wild, man. We'll crawl down this bank. I got to move over to the other side. Oh, easy, feller. It is unreal. We're just going to continue that on. I got to get this thing up and out of the way. I'm going to move the 120 over there too and use that for the borrow pit, because we got to kind of pick up the pace since everything's not wanting to be happy. A little bit of what we like to call false optimism coming in here. I'm below where I want to be. I'm almost wide enough, and I'm getting ready to back up and get myself a little ramp so I can get the skid steer down there. But we might actually be heading in the right direction. Honestly, I like what we're in now. We're in a really good clay down there. Really good clay.
So you can see that topsoil line more definitively from this angle. That's what we think, that the overflow pipe that was there, that was damaged, that was leaking into the dam, was finding its way down to that layer and then working its way out the backside of the dam. If we can get below that, we should be good to go.
We can start building that up with some good material. Should be okay. Skateboard dropping down into a half pipe. All right, so we're down to good material all the way on this little trench we got cut. How about a little bit of this throttle? So we're going to start at this level, work our way up, pack the whole thing back with good new material. Now, bud, we're headed the right way. Beautiful. Oh my goodness. What a mess of a job site I've got going. We'll go ahead and pack this little lift we got. We'll go ahead and get that. The operator's manual, I can't imagine needing that today. I wish that button worked. I gotta twist it. Steer to kind of spread this new material in.
And then we just repeat that process. We're pretty lucky we had that decent of material that close to it. Kind of doing 6 to 8 inch lifts here, running in with the skid steer, leveling it out, and then just packing it in with the vibratory sheep's foot roller.
All right, we're getting ready to do the last lift down the core. We still have quite a bit more to do. Cleaning up here. Oh my goodness. Trying to get this knocked out because I got to go back on shift tomorrow. Really only had a half day today. We didn't think this was going to be that involved. I gotta try to get it sealed up the best I can, so if it rains tomorrow or overnight, we don't have any water issues. This thing is super easy to operate. You got the throttle over here. You should be able to push that and pull out, but it's stuck, so we're just twisting. Parking brake. You pull back to go back. You push forward to go forward. Doesn't get any easier than that. I like to make one pass without the vibrator on. That way it kind of packs it down a little bit for me. If I just hop right into it with the vibratory down here, it almost pushes the dirt out in front of it. So a few passes without it on seems to do a little bit better. We're done with the borrow pit, or whatever you want to call it, potato tomato. We've got all this stuff. This is all the roots and sticks and stuff that we didn't want to put in the dam. That was on top of the material we used. We just take all that and we shove it in this here hole. You want to see something funny, go to the comments section. People are going to be upset that we put roots underground, but not near as upset as they're going to be when they figure out where roots came from. Okay. Okay. Here's where I gotta leave it. We still got another 2 feet to go, but I've got a spot for water to go that way. It's not supposed to rain, but meteorologists have been wrong before, so we got a place for it to go if it does. And all the material, a lot of this material on the back side of the dam that we threw off, this is all fine. It's got some good clay content. We can use that to finish that all off. The beach stump's gonna come out. We're gonna try to slope that area out, dress it up. Maybe if he wants to put a shelter house there, just kind of a byproduct of needing that borrow pit, clean it up and make it look nice. And of course we still have the pipes to do. I planned on doing this all in one long video, but given that we got into a little bit more than what we expected, I want to go ahead and get this edited so I can send it to Mike so he can look at it and make sure he's good with where we're at. When we first got here, there was literally water running in the dam and coming out down here on the bottom side. I think we found that leak and we addressed it, but I think we also found another long-term problem, that there was no, or it would appear that there is no good keyway cut in, breaking up that original grade that went through here. I talked to the property owner about that. I explained it. I think we're both on the same page that we've got the major issue fixed with this solution, but that may become an issue in the future. He said this pond's like 50 years old. He's never had any moisture on that side of it. But if there ever is, we're all the way to here. That's where I'm at it on anyway. That's where he's at on it. And after Mike sees this video, hopefully he will be on the same page as well. That's all I got. I'll catch you guys whenever I do another video. I need 2 hands for this scenario, because I don't want to go that, you know, like we're done today. Let's not ruin it, huh? A little bit of that. There's the manual for the sheep's foot roller is right there. If you need it, okay? If you need it, that's where it's at.